welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is a game called Death Crown. It's a minimalist real time strategy game in a quote unquote 1-bit style.
Minimalist real-time strategy is an interesting combination.
Yeah. And this game is going to be reviewed by Twilight Winter. That's usually what happens when we have like 4 games scheduled. You know, individual members will do an individual review to cut down on the burnout. And doing 4 games in a week simultaneously is a bit of a strain. Anyway, Twilight, take it away.
All right. In Death Crown, you're taking on the role of the female personification of Death herself, who is waging war against the ruler of a land simply known as the King. The King is a man who possesses a will so strong he is able to unite the land he rules that have been stuck in a millennium-long war. And his will was also strong enough to allow him to defy Death herself. And in doing so, he grew proud of this accomplishment and wishes then not only to be the ruler of the land of the living, but also the dead. And intends to take Death's crown so he could do so. Now, your ultimate goal in the game is to defeat the 4 bosses who I assume are supposed to be protecting the King's castle or something like that. So I'm under the assumption that it's to break his will as well, to destroy everything he has. Anyway, yeah, your goal is to defeat the 4 bosses who's out in the world map. I mean, you must also go through a series of battles against other castles to reach these bosses to fight them. Anyway, the battles are determined in difficulty by a number of skulls. Each battle has. We click on to enter them. They range from 1 to 3 for most bosses, but some are higher than that, up to 4. Well, the bosses themselves possess like a difficulty of 4 or 5. Anyway, in battle, it at first glance looks fairly simple.
So is this like 6 hexagonal grid thingy? Is that the battle screen or is that overworld?
That's the battle screen. Overworld is a simple map.
Okay, I was just wondering, because going through these videos, I was wondering if that was when I was looking at battle specifically or if there was other stuff. Okay.
Yeah, the battle screen has a hexagons representing the spaces so you can build your stuff on. But yeah, you have an option of 3 buildings that you can create in battle. You have your mines that allows you to generate gold faster, even though your tower, your primary tower, the citadel, can generate gold on itself, but you can generate gold faster the more mines you have. The smaller towers or fortresses can defend your other structures, by shooting enemy soldiers that approach. And last but not least is the crypts, which can allow you to generate your skeleton soldiers that you can direct via click and drag and a flag from their crypt over to whichever structure you want them to attack on the enemy side. However, your soldiers and your enemy soldiers do not interact with each other. The only thing they ever interact with is the buildings. You sorry. So, your towers and your crypts and crypts can expand your territory, but your mines can't. And the other thing you can do is sell or destroy your structures to replace them with a different building, or this also has some strategic value that I won't speak on for certain battles.
So if your enemy's soldiers are being a problem, you have to destroy the buildings they're coming from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your goal is to, in battle, is to destroy. Your primary goal is to destroy their own tower, the enemy's own tower or their castle. But yeah, you have to get past anything that they've built to get over to them. In the midst of battle, you of course have terrain you have to go around. These stone mountains, you can't do anything about them, but they can be useful strategically. Right. But there's also these black stones that are out there. There's usually about 3 in each map. And building a tower or a crypt beside them can upgrade your buildings overall. Your mines can generate gold faster. Your towers will recharge faster, and your soldiers can actually grow stronger. And I think they can generate faster as well. And your enemy has all these other have these abilities themselves. It is aesthetically different. The battles, you think at first this really would be pretty simple, but they can actually get pretty hectic, especially in higher difficulties, especially against the bosses who possess unique abilities of their own. One example I'll use is the cube, which can fire a laser at any building that you try to build halfway across the map instantly. So instead of using one of the most useful strategies is simply build as close as possible to your enemy and just overwhelm them with your soldiers by building a bunch of crypts near them. You have to just hope and pray that you can build as many crypts as possible to just overwhelm the cube and destroy it. And in destroying a boss, your citadel will get an upgrade, new abilities. For example, destroying the cube will allow the citadel to attack anything that approaches it. Yeah, I won't speak any further on the other abilities, but it's a pretty nice thing to have to gain as a reward. Also, winning battles will allow you to gain black stone, and collecting so many of these will allow you to put a point to each of your 3 abilities: the mines, towers, and crypts. This will allow your mines to generate gold faster, your towers to recharge quicker to shoot, and allow your crypts to generate soldiers faster. That's about it in terms of primary gameplay. There are other modes besides the main campaign. There's a 2-player co-op in Versus, but I never really could actually test those out myself. I didn't have anybody to assist me with that. There's no online co-op, just local. Yeah. I tried the Versus to see how it worked myself, but it seems you require. I'm not sure if it's another keyboard, and my controller didn't work. I assume that might have worked, but it didn't. And
yeah, simultaneous RTS 2-player stuff on the same computer seems like it'd be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, when going into the 2 players, it asks to press this button to play as Death first, and then we tried to play as the King. It wouldn't do anything. I couldn't get it to work, so. But co-op, I couldn't get that to work either. You can switch to 2-player immediately during your normal campaign, if you want to. I can't really get it to work out. Might have just been bad luck on my part. The other mode I have recently added is Domination mode. This has it's a mode that has an online leaderboard, and you can. What this is it's time based. Well, not time limit based, but it times you on how long it takes you to defeat an AI enemy, and it'll score you not on just time, but also how many of your towers are destroyed, or how many of the enemy towers are destroyed, and so on and so forth. And whoever scores the highest will, of course, be at the top of the leaderboard. Pretty self-explanatory. The game will also be gaining additional updates later on. The game's got a roadmap. By sometime later this fall, there'll be some balancing done. There'll be the addition of a human campaign, a new map eventually, and a new practice mode. I forgot to mention there's also a practice mode, but there's going to be a new one, I assume, for the human side, and cutscenes will have sound. I'll talk on that a little bit there, and new bosses and whatnot. But anyway, you can go to the Steam page and see all the additional stuff. There's also going to be a demon campaign as well. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, in terms of graphics, the 1-bit pixel art style, I think it serves the game pretty well. It adds a air of creepiness overall to the thing.
I'm not sure if I like the term 1-bit. I guess literally the color depth is 1-bit. Everything's either black and white. But
yeah,
looking at it, what it reminds me of a lot is the art style of like the old like Apple II.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah, they definitely have more pixels available than I'd think if you'd say 1-bit.
Yeah, but like I was saying, it adds an air of creepiness to the game. Being that it's about a man trying to defeat death, and death is just going to destroy everything he has. And it also has it's also combined with 3D as well as some of the cutscenes have 3D effects. At one point, I thought there was actually some live action there, but I don't think that's what it was. One scene with Death walking to her throne in her citadel, for example, it looks kind of live actiony, but I think it's just more 3D graphics going on there. I think I'm not entirely positive, but you can tell in other cases it's just 3D. But yeah, the otherwise it's just the cutscenes or have any 3D effects in them. Everything else is just pixel art and animation. But yeah, I like the graphics and the art style. It's pretty nice, and that's part of the reason why I like the game most of all. And it's going to be the thing that catches people's eye the most as well. Now for music and audio, it was saying on the roadmap there's could be sound in the cutscenes. There's no voice acting in the game. It's all silent in the cutscenes, besides some music.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Something I didn't really mention in the Sin Slayer review was the voice acting, or the voice narration technically. Oh God, what accents were you going for? Like, what vague European country are you from? I can't understand you. Thank God there are subtitles.
Yeah, personally, I'm glad there was no voice acting. It's something I didn't mention that during gameplay on the map, whenever you hover over any of the three buildings you wanted to upgrade, Death will actually pull out a scroll and hold it up to you and tell you what each of the buildings do, and it gives the impression that she doesn't speak, which I think has some personality to her, besides being kind of smug at some points in the cutscenes. But yeah, the music, once again, that I don't really try to best describe it, but it also has some creepiness to it. There's this sort of sense of dread that it provides to the world map, at least, since death is pretty much going to destroy everything, pretty much. So there's that. In battle, there's the same thing. There's a bit more of an actiony vibe to the music in battle, but that's not the best way I could describe it. It's all kind of spooky, creepy sounding for the most part. Some how I would describe it. I'm not sure if it's violin or guitar in the music. Nah, I'm no expert in music, so I can't really say. I forgot to mention the sound effects. They work. There's only sounds you ever hear is destruction of buildings and whatnot. That's about it. Now for the price, it's currently going $10. So there's a bundle that comes with the soundtrack. I did like the soundtrack, though I don't think it's something I would listen to outside the game as much as I enjoyed it. Now for the bundle is $11.68, and it personally, that kind of comes down to personal taste. Whether the normal price of the $10 works, I'd say it does, considering it's going to get updates later on, but the price will probably be going up along with those updates as well. The game's kind of short, but I say it works. Overall, my overall impression of the game is I liked it. I hadn't intended to mention this early in the gameplay, but my only complaint I have about the game is that I wish there was a pause button during the battles because a pause button to stop everything, not a menu screen, so that you could take a moment to look at everything, see what you need to do. Because, like I said before, the battles get really hectic. They get really fast paced later on in later on to the battles, especially during the boss battles, because I actually at one point got into a stalemate with one of the bosses and eventually managed to overpower them. But just you're trying to look back and forth at everything to make sure everything's secure and that I don't get killed. But yeah, that's about my only complaint. But overall, the game, I really enjoyed it. What was available currently of it, and I do look forward to some of these updates, like the human campaign and whatnot. And that's about it for me.
Okay, then. So, yeah, that'll about do it for our review session. Coming up on the week ahead, let's see, no Friday show this week. And coming up on Wednesday, it'll be our, I don't know, like, ritual return, or, John Pickett from Manga Gamers coming back to the program. And the centerpiece game we're going to be talking about this time is called Amaterasu Riddle Star. Like, I wish I could tell you more about it, but it's locked. Like, Gamers been doing this for a while. Like, all of their upcoming release visual novels tend to be locked until the time of release, and this is coming out like what, October 16th, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, we're not going to be able to get any sort of capture footage or play the game itself to help feed the interview, and there'll be a couple other visual novels to be talked about as well. But anyway, that's what's upcoming, and we hope you'll enjoy it. Until Wednesday, I wish you good gaming.